Music. Oof. Music's huge.
We've had a couple podcasts, I think
A
two or three
couple episodes about
podcasts
music.
talking about music, different kinds of music.
Yeah.
We built a festival at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fun episode,
That was a
actually.
good episode.
Yeah.
I like that episode.
Yeah. I think
A lot
that
of thought went into that episode.
this is gonna really show what kind of music we listen to, I guess.
Taste, you mean?
Yeah.
Music taste.
Because we're gonna talk about our top 5 albums. Um, this would be, oh, man, this is really hard.
Music changes every day.
Well, it's not even that. It's like, so there's bands there's groups or artists that I can listen to, and I can literally listen to their album from front to back a million times.
Same.
You know, like, and there's bands that are on my list that maybe I can't listen to their albums all the time, but are probably my top albums that I can listen to. But there's so many other artists that I can listen to their albums. Like, I just, not recently, but I've been listening to like Necrogoblicon, for example, for a while,
Yeah.
and I can listen to all their albums from front to back and not be tired of them. Haste the
True.
Day, you don't know Haste the Day, but
I have no idea. Who it
they're
is.
like a Christian metal band, and I can listen to
Lit.
all their albums from front to back. Billy Talent, all their albums from front to back.
It's fun. It's
Hobson,
funny,
Hobson, I can listen to all his stuff from front to back.
It's funny because I'm sure I don't know how you decided on your top five, but I think one of my big things with my top five is the replayability. At least to me,
Yeah,
these 5 albums, like I could listen to these albums every day for the rest of my life, and I would be perfectly content with it. Like I love these.
Yeah.
Like these albums are gonna be my favorite
see,
albums.
so I took it a different way
for a
than you
long
then,
way.
because I was looking at like my all-time top favorite albums, like
Yeah,
something that impacted my life
that's true.
at the time that I listened to them.
Well, so I have, let's see, 2 of them. So I have 2 from the same band, 2 from another band, and then 1 that's just my favorite album in a genre.
I'm pretty sure I have all different artists.
I was gonna do that, but I was like, you know what, I can't. There was albums I couldn't decide between, so I just put them both on there.
All right, so let's go back and forth.
Okay, I'll let you start then.
All right, cool. All right, so I'm gonna start with I guess I don't really want to put them in order, only because
I was about to say, are they gonna be in order? Because
See,
mine are not in order.
I don't want to put them in order, only because there's probably other artists
Albums
and albums that I would have preferred
higher up.
higher up that I don't even have on my list.
So you would, let's say this. These are our top 5 albums right now.
No,
No?
this is no. To me, no, because my top five albums right now would be albums. It's like all in the same genre, pretty much, like all death metal, probably.
Okay.
I'm thinking of like music over time, so like
Okay.
some like kind of, I guess, music that has put me onto different artists or has progressed my interest in music.
It's like rekindled that interest in that artist or something.
Yeah, well, not only that, well, being a musician, like it's influenced me to doing different things in my I guess field, if you would call it, of music.
Your field.
Yeah, because I'm a
field.
musician. I'm a drummer, so
I'm not. I just
so
like music.
so I put my first album is AFI, and I put Sing the Sorrows.
It's
That's
a good album.
that's literally like almost
I can give you
a
some.
life-changing album for me, because it got me into hardcore. It got me into punk. I listened to like somewhat punk, like Offsprings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it got me into like hardcore punk, like bands you won't know, like Bleeding Through, or you know, oh man, it just progressed into different things. So yeah, AFI is one of my top favorite bands.
Funny story about that
Go ahead.
is I don't know if you remember, but a few months ago, when you were at your other store and all that, I had texted you and I asked you. I said, hey, I'm trying to listen to new music. Can you give me some albums? The first album you said was that album.
Sing the Sorrows by AFI.
And I listened to it, and it's one of my.
It's such a good album, and it's to me it
one of my good albums that like I'm not gonna listen to it all the time, but
it's a awesome album. Like so, like I feel like when like AFI for example, like if you listen to their older stuff, it's a little bit more punk and hardcore. But for Sing the Sorrows, they get into like a really darker aspect of what AFI is, and they really push like.
That was their second.
No. It
was further.
It was way further. Yeah, they have a lot of albums beforehand. A lot of smaller albums, and then there's The Art of Drowning.
Oh, I guess
there's one before. I believe there's a album before The Art of Drowning, but their style has changed so much. So like every album that they come out with is a whole new album, and it every time they come out with the album, it's a whole different style. It's almost like I'm not sure if you know the band Bring Me the Horizon.
Yeah,
it's kind of like Bring Me the Horizon. Like every album they come out with is it has a little hint of what was in the last album, but the album itself is completely different. Like they change up their whole style, and I feel like that's just like how they.
Horizon's a good band too.
Oh, they're so good. But I feel like that's how they progress their music. Not only for the fans but for themselves, you know. Because an old fan might not like their new stuff, but the new fans like their new stuff, and then the old fans are gonna still stay with their old stuff.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? So they create new fans. It's kind of what happened with AFI to me, at least, is their older stuff, even going into like their punk stuff that wasn't like Tony Hawk and stuff. That's when I first heard them, and it was very much like punk rock. And then, you know, you go to Art of Drowning, and that's punk rock. You go to Sing the Sorrows, that's like goth punk rock almost, right? And then you go to Crash Love, and Crash Love is like pop punk. It still has a little bit of like that AFI from the last album,
yeah,
but it goes into like, you know, pop punk. And then going into their new stuff, it's very like almost goth-ish to me, at least. But I don't it's, you know, they lost the punk aspect of it. So but you know, Sing the Sorrows, man, from beginning to album, like my favorite song, and I'm sure if anyone's listening or watching, you know, Sing the Sorrows, Death of Seasons is one of my favorite songs in that album. Like it's, you know, they have a lot of songs too, like Silver and Cold. It's a classic, you know, because it's a very
Silver and Cold.
Yeah, it's a very much radio-esque song to me, but you know, they have that in the album. It's there's radio-esque stuff, and then there's like stuff that you wouldn't hear on the radio normally, you know. So that's a great album.
True. Well spoken, Gio.
Thank you. You can tell I have passion about AFI, I guess.
AFI. Once again. All right. Well, I guess since you started with a rock album, isn't most of your albums rock?
I think honestly, yeah, because there's there's two albums that
are not rock.
There's one album that's not.
Okay. All right. So since you went rock, I'll go rock.
Okay.
One of the albums, both nostalgic wise and just it's one of my favorite bands. I put on there Hybrid Theory.
Oh, you son of a gun.
Linkin Park. Is that on your list?
That's on my list.
Yeah, Hybrid Theory. So I have two Linkin Park albums on there because I couldn't decide between the both of them. They're both, to me, from beginning to end, they're both perfect albums.
Okay, what albums?
The other album I have is Meteora.
Yeah.
They're both, to me, they're both perfect from beginning to end. Yeah. There's not a single song on either of them that I would skip at any point because I love those albums.
I put Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory as my last as my last favorite album, and the reason I did that is because uh, it's an album that anyone who listens to that album, like I don't care who you are, you don't have to even listen to rock,
Linkin Park.
you don't have to listen to anything. You know Linkin Park, and you can listen to that album and know every song from beginning to end.
It's true.
That is such a classic album, and like I feel like Linkin Park opened up opened up the world, I guess, to the emo type of music. The emo type of music was there, but they made it more mainstream.
It's true.
Like the emotional type of music in the sense that this dude's singing about cutting his wrists, killing himself in a song. No one's listening to that at that time, you know what I'm saying?
Singing along.
Yeah. Not only that, like they kind of opened the doors for new metal to blow up as well, next to Korn or Limp Bizkit. They're one of the top new metal bands in the world. It's like Eminem, for example. Eminem's name alone, or Slim Shady's name alone, everyone knows who he is. That's the same as Linkin Park.
It's true.
It doesn't matter what genre of music you listen to. You could listen to Spanish music. You could be like,
and you would know.
You could be 50 years old. You probably know who Linkin Park is. You know what I'm saying? That's the crazy thing about that.
And if you didn't know, you could hear you could hear one or two songs and be like, "Oh, I know that song."
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how much of an impact they made.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, Hybrid Theory is a phenomenal album, and that's kind of why it was on my list. But Meteora is
just
really
as good of an album.
It's a really good album. So, I have a story with Meteora actually. One day I went with one of my best friends. I call him my cousin, but he's one of my best friends. And this is when the album first came out. We went and we bought the album, and dude, no joke, the whole day we blasted it in his room, and like his parents they didn't really like the music that we listened to, but they didn't really bother us.
Yeah.
But we do all night. It was like 12 o'clock at night, and we're blasting the music. And I could just the beginning of the album opens up. It's like, and that is just like such an iconic opening to an album,
It is.
And the way they open the whole album is just such a clean album for Meteora.
Speaking of that, my first CD that I ever bought, like with my own money and all that,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't a Linkin Park album, or it wasn't any of the early albums, but it was a Linkin Park album. It was the Living Things album, which came out early 2010s.
That's the album I don't like.
That's the album
This
where
one with
they
the arrow, right? Like it's the arrow on the cover.
No,
the bow?
That's Hunting Party.
Oh, I don't like that album.
That was the album where they kind of like changed a lot.
They started changing their stuff.
Yeah, that's the album where they started changing to getting more electronic and
Yeah.
all that. But
I feel like the record label won. So when Linkin Park first came out, right, they were so against what the record label was saying. So, for example, they didn't want Mike Shinoda to rap. They wanted him to just be the keyboardist.
Yeah.
They didn't, and they were like,
Mike
"Oh,
Shinoda
be the
rapped
backup be the backup singer," and then they just wanted Chester to sing. They didn't want him to be screaming or nothing.
Yeah.
And I feel like the first two albums, like Hybrid Theory and Meteora, they were Linkin Park. And I feel like after that, it was the record label.
That's true. Well, first 3 or 4 albums actually.
It started diminishing as the album
Once they hit Minutes to Midnight, that's when you could see the change start.
Yeah, and I feel like that's where the
Reanimation.
Reanimation's great. That's such a good album.
The reason I said that is because Reanimation was after.
But they didn't.
But
they didn't really count that as one of their albums, though. Like their actual studio albums, because it was a remix. And they did a few of those. They did a few remixes. So
yeah, but
Linkin Park's always gonna be a phenomenal band. And
I knocked two of mine out now because both of them were Linkin Park, Meteora and.
So you made me knock one of mine out.
Yeah. Oh,
no,
so
that's
now we're 2 and 2.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So my next one is It's a another metal band, or a hardcore band. Actually, no, I'm skipping a band. I'm sorry.
Is it Titanium or?
No,
You
so
said
this
metal.
is my favorite band, and it will pretty much always be my favorite band.
Of all
But
time.
yeah,
It's System of a Down.
it is, and everyone knows that.
Is it?
Nope, don't look at my page.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to think of what the name. Is it Toxicity?
Yeah, that's my favorite album. That is literally my favorite album of all time. It has all their such good songs. Don't get me wrong, I love all their albums. But Toxicity is just
Toxicity.
it's such a good
Toxicity
album.
is another one of those albums where it's perfect from beginning to end.
Yeah, like you can literally listen to it from beginning to end, and it. I mean, for me, because I'm such a huge System of a Down fan, I could listen to any of their albums from beginning to end, and it doesn't really affect. Like I'm not like bored of one song and then
Yeah.
skip it. I can listen to every System of a Down song. I have this I guess it's like a ritual. At least once a year, I have to listen to all their albums straight through. So I will literally start at their first album and go straight through all their albums, and I have to do it. Like, even if I'm going to work, like I'll drive and that'll be what's on my radio, and when I come back into my car, that's in my radio.
I've started doing that, but I think every year I change it, so it's different artists every year.
So I do that with System of a Down. I do it with this band called Haste the Day. I do it with Billy Talent, another band, Billy Talent. If you've never heard them,
I've heard Billy Talent.
so good, so good. They're just phenomenal. And if you ever get to see them live, if they ever play, they're just such a good band live. But there's a few bands that I will listen to their discography from beginning to end, and System of Down's just one of them. AFI used to be, but then like their newer stuff, I'm not really that much into their new stuff. So when I get into their new albums, I'm just like, but yeah,
That's like
System
me
of Down,
with-
Toxicity.
That's like me with my next one.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna jump the.
yeah. Go ahead.
I'm jumping out of the rock and roll for a moment. So my next album is Under Pressure,
It's a good album.
which is by Logic.
Yeah.
I was between Incredible True Story and Under Pressure.
See, I like Incredible True Story. You know that already, though.
Yeah,
Excuse my language. I really like that album.
yeah.
I almost
that
let one
album
slip.
That one is a really great album. I think Under Pressure for me is honestly probably his best album as far as his rapping goes,
Yeah.
because he literally every song is a different style of him rapping,
Okay.
and I think that's where I really like it more than Incredible True Story, because Incredible True Story it's a story.
Yeah,
And
it is. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's a great story, but I prefer, I guess, the talent that it goes into changing.
What I do like about Logic is he shows you that he can do a freestyle. He can have that freestyle type of rapping, but he can also have that storytelling type of rapping.
Yeah,
Or he could just like rap
he's
about
very
nothing.
versatile.
Yeah,
is what it
he
is.
has his styles, or even do like the boom bap rapping like with the Wu-Tang Clan. That song's amazing. You know what I'm saying?
It
So
is.
it's really cool that he can show you his different types of styles, even like with him and Eminem. Like napkins, blapkins.
Yeah.
So
Chris
like
D'Elia.
yeah. So it's cool to see that that type of artist that can change up their style whenever.
Yeah, but
Um,
going back to what you were saying, he's kind of the same way. Like, as I think you said it was AFI. Like the newer stuff is not
It's not as
like his last three
it's-
or four albums have been terrible.
yeah, and what
in my
happens
opinion.
is you hit a few songs that are really really good, and then a few songs that are just like okay, they're good, but they're
Well,
not.
most of these
I'm fine with them.
these past like 3 or 4 albums, like
Yeah, you
most
haven't
of
been
the
able to,
songs
yeah.
are bad, and I'm just like, it's not even like they're bad because they're good songs.
They're
It's
not
just
to
they're
your
not,
they're not to your expectation of him as an artist.
they're not it doesn't come off as its logic. It comes off as kind of, oh, I don't really care anymore kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. And I
It's
mean
almost
that
like the record. It's
it
almost like the
could.
record label's telling him how to rap.
Yeah, and
It's kind of
it
how it
could
comes off.
possibly be the case. You know, sometimes that happens with artists. The money they put the money before the art.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes that happens. I'm gonna tell you, like if someone was gonna pay me $1 million to change up my whole style, I would. That changes my life. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I
It's
get it.
true.
I get it. All right, so my next artist, I guess I'm gonna go into hip hop too. It's Eminem.
Oh.
You want to guess an album?
Do I want to guess an album?
Yeah.
Curtain Call.
Nope. Curtain Call. That's greatest hits.
No, the original one.
Oh
Relapse? No, not Relapse.
no. I'm
Marshall
old.
Matters LP1.
Yes. I'm old. You were like, oh, he's old. Let me guess old. No,
No, I was like, I
yeah.
remember that you had played it for me, and I was like, I didn't know these songs were on this
Yeah.
album. And you were like, yeah, this is where these songs came from, because they're on, like,
Yeah, they're on
Curtain
his greatest
Call
hits.
and
Yeah, yeah.
other stuff.
Yeah. Marshall Mathers LP.
The first
That's that. Yeah, the first one. Yeah, that is to me at least. I mean, I like Eminem. I like, for the most part,
It's a
most
perfect
of what
album.
he comes out with. I feel like that's his best album.
Speaking of Eminem, Curtain Call 2 comes out this week.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And he just, literally today, he released the set list for it, or the playlist.
Oh, he
for it.
released it?
Yeah, it's
What?
literally like, it's what you said. It's literally like greatest hits.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like 2 or 3
And then there's
songs
like
from like the past
and
5 albums.
he's supposed to release like 2 new songs or something like that
Yeah.
on it. Something like that. I heard about it. I've been following it.
Yeah.
But
It's like 30 songs.
yeah, yeah,
It's
because well, you have to
crazy.
think, so from the last Curtain Call to now, you know, you have like
It's like
how many
6
albums?
albums?
How many albums did he come out with?
It's
You know
like
what I'm saying?
6.
Yeah. So Kamikaze being one of his best right now to
Yeah.
me. And from beginning to end to that
Yeah.
album's amazing. Music to be Murdered by another freaking awesome one, you know what I'm saying? So but no, I think Marshall Mathers LP is to me the best.
The first one.
It's the best Eminem album.
Sorry, I keep clarifying that.
And
because
the reason why it's the best to me at least is this, to me it changed. You know, I grew up on Wu-Tang Clan. I grew up on Snoop Dogg and Tupac and all of these artists, but to me it changed what hip hop was to me. And you know, my older brother raps. My older brother's rapped since he was 16, and he's in his, I believe, early 40s right now. So, you know, for him to grow up, I couldn't even hang out with his friends unless I knew how to say cash rules everything around me, cream get the money, dollar bill, yo. You know what I'm saying? That's from Cream from Wu-Tang Clan. And you know, the day I learned how to say it, it was a little too late. I was already older. But you know, I think like Eminem changed, if I'm all honest, Eminem changed the game.
I
You know what I'm
agree.
saying? And he didn't only change, you know,
Even the rappers would, even like all the highest of best of rappers say the same thing.
yeah. Well,
He changed the game.
he didn't only change the game for like the hip hop community. He changed the game for like the white hip hop community, people that were,
Well, he changed the game for the music industry. Period.
well, yeah, yeah, and you know, like people that weren't being taken seriously are now in this day and age being taken seriously.
It's
Like
true.
look at you know,
NF.
look at NF, look at Hobson. You know, like look at look at Crypt. Look at
Tom McDonald.
yeah, Tom McDonald. You know, all these rappers that are, they're not as big, but they're rapping just as big as Eminem was rapping back then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You listen to their
And they're
music.
attacking things that they believe is right and wrong, and so
Yeah.
and that's what Eminem was
And
doing.
that's yeah, Eminem was doing that. Like he was making fun of, you know, the pop culture at the
Yeah.
time. You know, like, you know, talking about MTV, talking about, you know, Britney Spears, and talking about Will Smith, you know. talking about all these artists that just used their fame. I feel like, what I'm saying, and he
True.
made him big for it, but I don't know. He just changed the whole rap game, and I feel like that's to me again one of his best albums. And I can
agree.
listen to that album from front to back and be like, dude, this is a phenomenal album.
Yeah. Have you ever listened to the second version?
I don't like it.
Really?
Yeah. That's just my
it.
opinion, though. That's just my
I mean,
opinion.
I was very young when I listened to it.
That's just my opinion. I think that at that time and point when that album came out, I wasn't listening to Eminem anymore.
Yeah, that was right after Revival.
Yeah.
I
mean, I listened to Revival, and it was an
Revival
alright
was
album. Yeah, it was an alright
a
album.
good album.
I think where Eminem is now,
Oh yeah,
he's like on a comeback though.
he took. I think him in that section of like his discography.
It's not bad music. Don't get me wrong. I'll never say he
was-
does bad music.
It was him coming out of
yeah,
the bad part of his life, and
yeah.
he's like sober
But even
now and
even
all
in
that.
even if right,
And now
So-
he's back to, oh, now that I'm sober, I can still do.
yeah.
I can still be Slim Shady
Well,
regardless.
the dude reads a dictionary, so
Literally.
so. But I mean,
Door hinge,
his
orange,
new stuff,
florange.
napkins, babkins. No, but the dude's the phenomenal artist. He's to me, and
He's the greatest rapper of all time.
I think he is.
He is the greatest rapper of all time.
I think he is, and I think people might
Nobody
give
can
us
say
hate.
otherwise.
No, people might give us hate for it, but to me, he's one of the greatest rappers. But he is
I think
he is the
greatest.
top. He's one of the tops.
I think he is the top. That's just my opinion.
There's greats though.
Oh yeah, there's
Greats, but
there's people on his level, but
yeah.
he's the best of all of them.
yeah, he would destroy
outdo
he would
them.
destroy anyone. Yeah, he would. That's why everyone just ends up kind of giving up and being on his side.
He threatens him with a kill shot. It's over.
Yeah, then what's his name?
And then you go to punk rock.
MGK. Oh my god,
He literally
MGK.
kicked him out of the whole genre.
MGK like went from being a hip hop artist to like a pop punk artist.
Like,
I don't even know how that makes any sense.
Too. It's not even like good. It's not like
I mean, a lot of
decent
people like it. I
pop
don't listen to it, so. And I listen to pop punk, and a lot of people don't. A lot of my friends don't listen to that at least. Next album.
Oh, you want me to go next, huh?
Yeah. We're talking about Eminem.
All right. Well, I'm going back to my other favorite band. I have 2 albums by them, but
21st Pilots.
how'd you know? Yes,
That's your
actually,
favorite band,
21
that's how-
Pilots. Yes.
We wouldn't be co-hosts if we didn't know each other's favorite artists, right?
Yeah. So I'm actually gonna come out of left field with this one because I went back and forth on it, and I looked at the albums themselves, and I think Trench is on my list of top 5 albums.
See, I don't know that album. I never got into 21 Pilots like that. It was always, for me, it was like I listened to their singles, and I think that's it.
Yeah, Trench is the album that has Chlorine.
Oh no, that is a good album.
My
I did listen
Blood.
to that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that album. That album, after going through their albums again, that album is probably my favorite of their albums. Blurry Face is a good album. I enjoyed that album because I was like my introduction.
Yeah,
to
I like
them.
that album too. I like the song at least.
Yeah, that album is like my introduction to them. So I really like that album. I just think Trench, to me, I like it better.
Yeah.
I guess it pertains more to my opinion of it.
Yeah, and I mean it's that album that you can listen to from beginning to end.
Yeah.
And enjoy it. So.
Whereas Blurry Face, like,
What's your favorite song though?
by 21 Pilots?
No, by Entrench.
Entrench?
And why?
Ooh. Let me look real quick.
Ding 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 We got 5 more minutes. 4,
So
3, 2.
I when I first heard the album, I would say it was Jumpsuit.
Yeah, that's the one that says jumpsuit.
That's the one where he screams.
Yeah, he's like jumpsuit. I don't know. I don't know. I never heard that song.
I think honestly probably Cut My Lip or Pet Cheetah. Honestly,
Ooh,
Pet Cheetah is a really good song.
y'all should check it
I
out.
really like that song.
He's gonna make me check it out.
Cut My
so.
Lip is a really good song too.
What is it about?
What, the album?
No, the Cut My Lip song.
It's
What do you
honestly
know?
I don't know what it's about officially. It talks about like something about like a drink and it's rusted, and when you drink it, it cuts your lip. It's almost like enjoying the pain or something like that, or enduring the pain to get to positivity or something like that.
That's interesting.
It's almost like perseverance. There it is.
All right.
It's about perseverance.
I'm gonna have to check that song. That sounds interesting.
I know I use that word a lot.
Perseverance.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have
You know what perseverance is, right?
No, man. I'm dumb. Don't you know?
That's the word I use in interviews when they ask me what my strength is. I say perseverance.
Nice. You know what my strength is? I don't know.
I was waiting for your answer.
I don't know. Anyways, back on to the next album. So
He's like Toxicity.
I had to push, I guess, this album back to the last because we talked about Hybrid Theory. But Avenged, Sevenfold, Awaken the Fallen. It's a good album.
I didn't expect Avenged Sevenfold to be on your list.
So I used to love Avenged Sevenfold, man. Like, no joke. Like, I would listen to them all the time. My music taste has changed over the years. I do listen to harder music now, and I think that's driven me away from like AFI and System of a Down.
You listen to the
Yeah. And
I
I
scared
think
the
that's driven me away from some of my other stuff. So
Sorry, Mike.
yeah. Awaken the Fallen. If you haven't heard it, it's a
Awaken the Fallen.
phenomenal album. Like from beginning to end.
I'll have to check it out.
If you could bypass some of the screaming, the
like
songs
the screaming.
themselves. Oh no, the screaming it makes the music. I think that
It's the passion.
the passion of the music. You feel to me you feel the passion of the music of every song. That's kind of why I like
a good
that song.
description.
Yeah. I think that was that our last one?
No, we still have one more.
One more. Tristan, tell us what you like.
All right. It's another 21 Pilots album. It's actually their newest album, which is Scaled and Icy. I just really like the album. It's a change. I think it's a good change to what they were going
That's
for.
the one that they're like more like upbeat, right, and positive?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
It's the upbeat.
I have heard that album.
It's the upbeat album. So, I really enjoy it. I think it's a nice change going from like really like kind of sad and depressing style up to upbeat. Did I ever tell you what the actual meaning behind the album is?
No.
So the reason that it's upbeat is, and this is from them directly, the reason that it's upbeat, and also if you watch the live stream, they go into it, like they show like parts and stuff. It's Dima in the album.
Yeah.
I don't know if you may not have known this, but he had this is, and Blurry Face was the album where he painted his neck and his hands
Yeah,
black.
I remember that. Yeah.
The reason he painted his hands black was because of his inner demons was like his doubts about what he was creating with his hands, which was the music.
Yeah.
And his neck was black because his demons were suffocating him.
Oh,
yes.
That's pretty cool.
So that's what he calls Dima, is like his inner demons and his inner doubts.
Do they have a song named Dima?
No, that's just what they have always called it. That's what they called it.
Okay.
So, in Trench is them. Blurry Face was them acknowledging what Dima is and, you know, like going over it. Trench is where they're kind of like trying to fight against Dima. Scaled and Icy, which is this last album, the really upbeat album.
Yeah.
And if
It's
you
them
watch
winning?
no, it's the opposite. It's propaganda. What it is because it's so upbeat, it's propaganda. It's Dima trying to pull them back in. And that's why
So
it's so happy, because it's
so the
like
sound is happy, but the lyrics are dark.
very dark. And if you listen,
Ah,
if you
that's
go
pretty
back
cool.
to this album and you listen to it, you're gonna be like, "Whoa, this album is
Alright.
really dark."
I'm gonna have to check that out because, like I
Yeah.
said, I like some of their stuff. I listen to some of their stuff, but I haven't really gotten into them hardcore.
Yeah,
But that's like almost genius
it is.
because it's like an oxymoron.
It is.
Like play happy.
Which is where it threw me off, because I was like, "This is like," when I first heard the album, I was like, it's a really good album regardless," but I didn't know that. And then when you watch the live stream, they talk about it. Like when they did the live stream over the pandemic, they were talking about it.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, it's genius.
How
they
how
thought
you
of that.
how you think of that. You're like, hey, let's make a upbeat album, but,
But it's actually
everything be
opposite.
dark as hell.
Yeah,
That's cool. I like that.
yeah. So that's also why I like that album, is because it was the change,
Yeah.
but not 100% of a change.
Yeah.
It was a change in the style.
That's cool. That's
but
awesome.
The delivery is still the same.
Yeah,
Or sorry,
no.
it was a change in the
Delivery,
delivery, but the style was still the same.
I like that.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Hell yeah. Well, that was our.
That was all yours. I
yeah.
thought you had one more. No.
Yeah, I did. Hybrid Theory. Remember?
Oh yeah, I stole that one. My
You
bad.
stole that one, you thief. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and there.
Yeah.